Hello everybody, welcome to this week's episode of The County Seat. Today our topic is going to be on taxes. With the legislature just ending, there are new taxes and old taxes that have gone away. But the biggest tax that affects counties is the property tax. And the property tax actually is a process that involves several of the different departments of the counties. And as reporter Dan Pope, who is just joining our show for the first time, will tell you, it flows like a river of money.
If you own property or you own a home, which many of us do, we get our tax payments every year. And we become a little bit defensive and wonder how that money is spent. What we'd like to do today is show you how the river of money flows into the county coffers.
All real estate and personal property are subject to taxation in the state of Utah, unless expressly exempted by law. That is where the river starts flowing. The headwaters of property taxation starts with the county recorder. It is their job to document who owns what so an accurate accounting can be done and everyone pays their fair share.
When a document is brought to our office across our counter or in the mail, it is checked to see if it meets the state requirements for recording. If it does, it's immediately recorded because it's time sensitive.
Downstream from the recorder is the assessor's office. Now, it's the assessor's job to determine the fair market value of an individual's property. The fair market value is simply the price that would be paid on the open market. Once you know how much the home or office is worth, you can determine how much tax is owed. Simply put, if you own a $10 million mansion, you're going to pay more property tax than someone with a $200,000 Rambler. For most categories of property, the fair market value and the taxable value are identical. However, the Utah Constitution allows the legislature to exempt up to 45% of the fair market value of a primary residential property.
My mandate and my requirements by state law is to determine market value. And we are mandated to keep that within plus or minus 10% of what properties are selling for. Commercial property, real property, the land and the buildings. We also deal with business taxes on their equipment, the items which they use in their day-to-day operation. And we administer that and send that out. We're required to value all of that.
Once all of the tax revenues are figured, counties, towns, schools, and service providers like water and fire are able to make their budgets. All of them are funded by the river of property tax dollars. The next place the river flows is to the county auditor. The auditor is responsible for the financial information of the county, and they notify the citizens on what their tax rates are. The auditors send out the notices, and then the revenues start flowing into their offices.
The auditor is responsible for the financial information of the county, and so any money coming into the county initially comes through the auditor's office. Between the auditor's office and the treasurer's office, we provide the checks and balances for the county. So money coming into the county is receipted into my office and then taken to the treasurer's office where there it's deposited into the bank accounts.
Once the money comes into the treasurer's office, it starts to split into all kinds of different directions as each individual service gets its money that it needs to function. These include fire departments, police forces, libraries, jails, schools, road projects, parks, health and human services, and more.
I have about 30 different bank accounts that I have to keep track of and balance to daily and monthly, and everything has to balance.
On average, over half of your property tax goes to local school districts, 14% to cities, and another 14% to special taxing districts. Only 18% goes toward the county budget. What money remains in the county is then distributed to pay the bills, payroll, and department expenditures to keep the county running. Most of these services we either use every day or want access to in an emergency.
No one's really excited about paying their taxes, and we often complain that our counties aren't doing enough. But the river of money flows through many agencies that help us every day. For example, your firefighters, your police department, and all of the services that the county provides. I'm Dan Pope for the County Seat.
Thanks, Dan, for that report. And oh, by the way, don't get your feet wet. Well, stay with us. We will talk more about taxes. We're going to focus on some special assessment taxes that help develop culture within our individual communities. We are going to wrap you and zap you when we come back.
Let's be honest, you don't know much about Beaver County. Well, let me tell you about it. It's the birthplace of outlaw Butch Cassidy and inventor Philo T. Farnsworth. Some of the best skiing in Utah is at Eagle Point. You've got camping, Canyon Breeze Golf Course, Crusher and the Tushers, Beaver Territorial Courthouse, snowmobiling, Renewable Energy, Pioneer Car Show, Squeaky Cheese, Ghost Towns to explore, best water in the country, Paiute ATV trails, Old Frisco Kilns, horse racing, hunting, fishing, and it's a good place to live. Beaver County, mountains of fun. I could tell you more, but why don't you come and see it for yourself?
If you look up epic in the dictionary, it's defined as heroic, majestic, or impressively great. Here in Kane County, Utah, we don't need a dictionary to tell us that. We live it every day. Stop reading about life and start experiencing it in Kane County. ATV adventures, Jeep excursions, hike a world where the Old West was yesterday and tomorrow is just over the horizon. Kane County, Utah, where epic is more than just a word, it's our way of life.
How would you spend an extra day in Utah Valley? Stay one more day. Visit utahvalley.com to make reservations. Utah Valley. Bring everyone together.
I remember the first time that our family found that canyon road. I thought, here we go again, another road to nowhere. But boy, was I wrong. It was 9 Mile Canyon, and what we saw was more than I could ever have expected. At the end of the day, my son asked,
Mom, can we come back here again?
That was all I needed to hear.
What happens in Utah's Castle Country stays with you. Find out more at castlecountry.com.